Time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace, former Ottawa Senator Jason York, and Graeme Nichols.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this afternoon's show of the Coming In Hot podcast, joined by Jason York. Yorkie, what's going on?
Graeme, I think you might have a future in this hosting business. That was a damn good intro you just pulled off.
Where is Wally? Oh, I should add, the show is also brought to you by Bet365.
Oh, we're not allowed to say that he's away because he's afraid of his house getting robbed. Oh, shit. I hear him.
He's watching. He's going to be watching. You know he's going to be watching.
He is off for the week. He's not out of town. He's good. He's good. He's just taking a rest. He hasn't taken a day off since we started this baby, so he's getting a much needed rest to recoup, recover, and start feeling happy again. Hey, Graeme? It's
feeling happy for sure.
That time of year. That time of year.
He's going to be happy though. I feel like he's going to be a nervous wreck. Just like, oh no, I'm turning the keys over. It's like leaving his two collegiate kids with the house while he goes away for a week.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't know about what goes on at the Nichols house, but at the York house, it's getting festive. We've got little miniature trees going up here. We got Frosty the Snowman's just dominate the house. Every shelf there's a snowman. There is little elves dancing around. It's getting magical around here. So we just need some snow and all. This used to be my favorite time of year.
Yeah, it's good. This is probably my favorite. Well, I love September, October, November. Just like those, you get all those major sports, or two of them are starting, one of them's ending, and just the vibes. The vibes of this time of year are good. Christmas is right around the corner. Kids are getting excited. So,
do you know why I loved it? Because if you go around neighborhood communities right now, the boards for the outdoor rinks are all up now. And I don't know about you, when I was a kid, I counted down the days to when the ODRs used to open. And that's why back when I was doing radio, I used to do a segment on the show about outdoor rink, and I'd give advice. And then,
oh yeah.
And I think the record we had at my place was we had ice one year, November 19th. I remember it because I used to do the tarp, which is the best way for anyone listening that wants to do an outdoor rink. Put your base. It could be boards, little boards, no matter what height. And then you put the tarp, and you tuck it over the edges. You staple it up, and then you just fill your area that's going to be your rink with water. It's like an ice cube tray. So basically,
and it's self-leveling. It's perfect.
It's self-leveling. If you time it and wait for a nice cold snap, Graeme, you could have, it's like making your ice for your old fashions. You could have a nice old fashioned skating rink overnight, just like that. But yeah, November 19th was the York record. Still remember it. My son was so happy, got up in the morning, and all I could hear was those skates going. It's a magical sound, Graeme. It's a great sound. Oh,
and it's a great place for kids to develop their skills, right? And it doesn't cost that much money, so it's perfect.
Exactly.
It's
but
perfect.
You know what? The seasons are getting. I don't know though. The ODR season is so short right now. It
is. Yeah, we've had some bad winters for that.
Yeah, it hasn't been good. So anyhow,
ski hills and taking a kicking. Yeah, it's been tough. But let's take care of some business before we get our guest, Kyle Bukauskas, Sports Sense. Kyle Bukauskas is coming on. So let's take care of this quickly, Jake. We're going with Shoeless Joe's. Shoeless Joe's, daily deals you do not want to miss. Burgers, wings, cold beer, great prices, no fluff, just big flavor 5 nights a week. This week at Shoeless, well, it's already past Monday and Tuesday, but we had fish and chips Monday. We've had wings Tuesday, but it's Big Burger Energy Wednesday tonight. You can get massive burger starting at $10. Thursday night, you have half price wine and $10 flatbreads. Perfect for date night or for catching up. And then you have Caesar Sundays. Shake up your Sunday with a $6 Caesar. Game day bud deals are also a thing. So if the Canadian team is playing on the screen, you have $9 buds all game long. Shoeless Joe's, where daily deals make big flavor and good times on repeat in Campbell and Orleans. Check it out.
And we will be there, I believe, on December 2nd. Is it, Graeme? I think we're going to be. I think it's Orleans. We haven't got confirmation on that. We're going to be there for their live show.
Pretty sure it's Orleans.
Yeah, the last show we did was awesome. We had a full house. We had a great time. And speaking of great time and good people, how about BEI, the Heavy Civil General Contractors? Give them a call. At 613-432-1120 or online at bonasherexcavating.com. BEI is helping to shape the Ottawa Valley. And as always, please remember to slow down in those construction zones.
All right, Jake, you want to bring them in?
Oh, Speaking, well, you mentioned fish and chips. I know this old sailor. He's an old motorboat and sailor, that Kyle Bukauskas, ain't ya?
Oh, my goodness. Wasting no time getting the Wedding Crashers quotes in, which is dynamite, Yorkie. And you are the only person I know that can link ODR preparation back to an old fashioned. Nobody else in this world but you can do that.
Well, Kyle, you could twist it around though for one of your beautiful openings on Hockey Night in Canada. Oh boy. Still, Kyle,
not that way. You don't. I can't weave it as beautifully as you. How's it going, gentlemen? Talk about addition by subtraction today. Wow.
Hey, Graeme, it's fun week. It's fun week on Coming in Hot. Where
I'm just waiting for Wally. Wally's going to slide into the chat any moment now.
We blocked him. Kyle, it's fun week, and that's why Graeme and I decided we wanted to bring on somebody who's in the Good Guy Club from the Calgary chapter, a new member of the Good Guy Club. I know our AGM's coming up at the end of the year in December, so what better time to bring you on the talk show?
Yes, this is great. It's great to be with you. First time coming back on the pod since family packed up, left Stittsville. We are in Calgary now, as you say, Jason. And now, coincidentally, a few months later, the news comes out that Yorkie's doing some Flames games, which is great. So like one by one, I'm pulling you guys west.
Yeah. What's going on? Anyways. You got Johnny Abbott, yourself, Jason York's out there now. Like, it's got to be interesting. Eh? Like that whole Ottawa flavors has found its way out there.
Nice flavor. But Kyle, you and I are on different schedules. Every time I come to Calgary, it's a weekend. I'm flying in, you're flying out. We've yet to hook up for a cocktail in the city. So we're going to have to do this in the new year. We'll have to figure out a time.
I know. That's the one thing. I mean, you mentioned the Good Guy Club, and I do not take that honor lightly. I mean, the first time you came out here back in September, I made sure to come grab you at the airport. That was a no-brainer, but I feel like I haven't held up my end of the bargain enough and having you down at the house for a visit or to meet you up somewhere, but the schedules are just conflicted. But anyway.
Oh, I understand. How about this, eh? How about this move, Graeme? I wheel into town. It's first day, I got to go up to Calgary for training camp. Kyle reaches out. I hear you're coming to town. He goes, I will pick you up at the airport. I'm like, Kyle, I'll take an Uber. That's not necessary. Nope. I insist. I will be there. Kyle shows up. He's my chariot awaiting in the parking lot, drives me to the hotel. It was just like, that's what good guys do.
First class.
He had coffee for me too. He had coffees in the car waiting. My latte, he took my order. It was like, I got a text while I was in Yorkie. Do you need a coffee for the car? Does that sound familiar? Is that bringing up memories, Graeme?
How are you? Yeah, it does. It does.
I do the same for you, Graeme. I do the same for you.
So when you first see each other coming on, you come out of the airport, Yorkie. What's the greeting like? Is it a hug? Is it a handshake? No,
we bring it
in. It's both. It's the eye contact and the smile. It's always when you get that Yorkie smirk back at you, you're like, oh, this is going to be a good day. It's going to be a good car ride. I don't care if there's traffic, if we're bumper to bumper for an hour. Nowhere I'd rather be.
Kyle and I go back a long way, Graeme. When Kyle first started in the business, the Sportsnet, we were doing the Montreal games. It was you, John Bartlett, myself, Scotty Lennox,
Nash Sakaria on stats. We had a good crew, and we didn't have a ton of in terms of the technical crew that would travel with us, Graeme, from game to game. It was a lot of local crew that we would hire whichever city we were in. Whether it was John Augie, go on down the list there. The late Blair Tetro, of course, Yorkie, right? God love him. It was even, Shrelly Najak was directing a few of our games early on, I think, to help to get Lennox up to speed here, because that was kind of as things were changing technologically in terms of how we were doing games. Anyway, it was a very fun group. And I've got a memory from that year that I hope to weave into at some point here when we talk the Sens a little bit. Because, of course, they're out west right now. Anyway, it triggered my mind of something from that season. So
okay, you saving that for later?
Yeah, anytime. I mean, this is your guys' show, but I was, once we were head first deep dive into the Sens, I knew I was going to bring it up at some point.
Well, we're going to have we've got a brand new segment to the talk show. We're going to you're going to be our first guest that we're trying this on. It's called not yet, Jake. We're not going to bring out the head. We got music, we've got boards, we got everything. But before we get into that, though, you mentioned, I just wanted to get because a lot went on for you. You mentioned you moved to Calgary, you left Ottawa abruptly. It was kind of a secret too. Like nobody knew you were leaving. What do they got you doing now? Now that you're, because everybody knows, well, you're in Ottawa, you're a little bit of the Sens, but now you're in Calgary. So like, what's changed for you?
Not a ton, just other than my postal code. Time zone I'm living in, that's obviously a little different. And it wasn't meant to be a secret. Like it wasn't some, quiet backdoor exit. I understand it may have come across that way. But anyway, it was just it had been in the works for a while. It would have been January of this year that we finally kind of got the green light to move back here. And really, it was just, as you guys know, I'm from out west. I'm a BC guy. My wife, Dana, grew up a couple hours outside of Calgary. We knew we had a little one on the way. We were entering the next phase of our lives in that sense, and just wanted to be, in terms of extended family, I mean, we have nobody in Ontario. We're fortunate to have, good people we've gotten to know and friends in Ottawa and such. But in terms of family, like the closest would have been Calgary. So we wanted to be a little bit closer to everybody as we entered that next phase of things. So that was the real emphasis and the motivation to get out here. And thankfully Sportsnet was very understanding. And I didn't say a ton just because, until everything's finalized and we get through the sale of our house, like I'd never gone through that before. And then not only that, finding a place here. So I didn't want to be spouting off going, yeah, we're going. And then suddenly we don't find a place out this way. And you're scrambling and everyone's asking what's going on. So that's kind of more the reason why I kept it quiet. And then next thing you know, as you guys both know, life gets busy, the baby comes and you're trying to pack. It was quite quick. Like, he arrived and then 2.5 weeks later, the vans were packed up and we hit the road. So in terms of work, it's not a ton different. Still do the podcast with Elliot twice a week. Still working, on Saturdays, primarily, covering the primetime game at 7 Eastern. So the flights are a little bit longer now. But other than that, it's a lot similar. I'll still go down to the Dome the odd time, just to whether it's an off day skate or a morning skate. But Brendan Parker, of course, is doing a wonderful job with you guys, Jason, working rinkside now. Like he handles the bulk of that stuff as the regional host. And it was funny, like we move here. And a month later, the news comes out that Ryan Leslie, another card-carrying member of the Good Guy Club, he was leaving Sportsnet to join the Leafs to work as the team reporter. And there are a lot of people out there that were piecing two and two together going, oh, I see Kyle moved out to Calgary with the idea that Leslie was heading to Toronto. I had no idea. No clue, because I called Ryan just before we moved, and of course he wasn't at a point yet where he was able to talk about that. So that was a total coincidence when that all unfolded. But anyway, we're loving life out west here. It's great to be closer and see an extended family on a lot more regular basis. Like my brother lives in town; he was just down visiting last night. But do miss all of you in Ottawa, no question.
Graeme, the Bukauskas. Yeah, sorry, I had to throw this in before you get in. The Bukauskas brothers, by the way, a very dangerous pickup hockey tandem.
Just no finish though. We our underlying stats are great. Lots of zone time, shot attempts, high danger chances through the roof.
Graeme, I went on Money Puck today. And it's just loitered with Carolina Hurricanes in every single stat metric. It's Hurricanes. You'd be a perfect member of the Hurricanes, Kyle. You're an analytic darling.
Yes, the expected goals category love us, but actual, we're still figuring that part out.
So Kyle, you want to know how I heard that you were moving out of Ottawa? I was on the patio of the Cheshire Cat, and our server Cody says, "Hey, do you know?" Because he knew I was doing hockey and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, do you know Kyle Bukauskas' wife Dana?" I'm like, "No, never met her," and I didn't want to bother her. She was with a friend having lunch or whatever, and then he says, "Yeah, you believe they're moving to Calgary?" I'm like, unbeliable, Cody. Unbelievable.
Because Cody runs the trivia Monday nights.
Yeah, and that's it. And then he's like, I'm like, how do you know how do they know you so well? And he's like, oh, they're big trivia buffs. They're in here almost every Monday. So
massive.
I'm like,
oh my gosh,
kind of like a little trivia. Do you know who I spotted? Because I was just at the Cap Monday night. Who snuck in for a little trivia was one Ian Mendez.
No way. Now that's a ringer. If you got Mendez at your table.
Yeah.
How do you get a few prizes headed your way?
He didn't stay. I think he was spying. Like, I think he was in there trying to get some of Cody's questions for some of his future trivia things he does. Yeah, because he was in and out. He was sitting in the corner, all stealth-like, had a trench coat on. I'm like, Mendez? Yorkie? He was kind of surprised that he saw me. So I was like, I don't know. Something was fishy was going on. Like, you don't see Mendez around the cat very often.
Really? He went full Inspector Clouseau on you.
Yes.
That's great.
So what are you missing about Ottawa, if anything?
I do. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the people first and foremost, like, seeing you all at the rink and just being a little more dialed in, though I have, of course, tried to stay on top of what's going on around the Sens. It's just different. We are not there every day or every other day. That part I've missed. We liked our community that we lived in. The people, kind of our neighbors, and that were all very friendly and good to us. So those things that you appreciate at the time and now miss here, a big part of it. And I did love just, again, the whole being in the valley. The ability to drive somewhere not too far away to kind of be out
you were in Stitz Vegas.
We were proud Stittsvillians. But I adore being here in Calgary too. Like, I went to broadcasting school here, did 2 years after graduating high school. Loved the city then. It had always been kind of in the back of my mind, like, if there was ever an opportunity to get back west and to live somewhere like Calgary, that would be great. So just very, very, a lot of gratitude that it's worked out the way that it has.
Kyle, you know what I found in Calgary, in Alberta? It is a massive cold plunge community. Everyone's cold plunging there.
Oh, yeah?
It's crazy.
Right up your alley.
Cold plunge clubs. They've got places you can go have a sauna, have a plunge. And I'm talking like not one or two. It's like on every corner downtown, there's one of these babies. So, no, it's neat. But listen, one of the reasons we brought you on is because we wanted you, as I mentioned before, to be one of the first to be on this new game show we have. And Jake, can you roll the music, please, to this new segment of ours?
This segment bears a mention. It comes with good intentions. This lesson is in session. It's Yorkie's burning questions.
Wow. Wow.
I have to admit, I did not put the music together, but I was talking to Jake about this before we got on, as we were talking about the show. I think AI Wally is like a dead ringer. He's always got that little scowl on his face. Look, we're all having fun in the classroom here. Kyle's perfect.
Who's the old man in the window?
That's Wally. He's spying in. Kyle's beautiful head of hair is on fire, as usual. Graham's putting it out.
It's all right. I got you
appreciate
covered.
Graham looking out for me there. Yep. Yeah. I've got nothing without it.
Hey, by the way, Graham, here's another thing good guys do. So when Kyle first came to town, he was looking for a place to get his hair perfect. Like, it's always perfect for the broadcast. Everybody knows about it. So I got Kyle hooked up with my good buddy Dino. And Kyle and Dino went on to have a beautiful relationship of hair, and it was just magical. And then all of a sudden, Kyle gets sent to Calgary. And like, what are you going to do with the hair, right? Like, it must have been a little stressful, but good old Dino, right? He hooked you up with a great spot. So this is what good guys do, Graham. I end up going to Calgary, and I haven't had a haircut in months, and I've got a broadcast, and I'm in a pinch. So what do? I call Kyle. He rescinds the favor and hooks me up with John, one of the best. Hey, how good is John, Kyle? Like, one of the
really great. Like, I called Dino and I'm going, there's no chance you know somebody in Calgary, right? And he goes, I think I have someone for you. And it's just amazing that it worked out that way. And that was when you first told me about that, was over 10 years ago. Like, we're talking 2014. Yes. And so anyway, it was great to return the favor. Yeah. Yes, John, one of the best. A nice warm towel over the face. It's a great treat.
So there's some crazy barber network that we're just not aware of whatsoever.
I had no idea. Like, again, Graham, like, I'm going Calgary, Ottawa. What's the connection there? Like, Dino's been an Ottawa guy virtually his whole life, right, Jason? So there's no chance he'll know someone out there.
He's got a guy.
I guess that network's smaller than I thought. Sorry, Jason.
He's got a guy, right? Everyone's got a guy in each town. All right. So the way this is going to work is we've got the three burning questions right now. And we all know this. 20 games into the season, you kind of know who you are as a team, right? It's you've had enough. There's enough of a sample size of what you are. So for the Senators, fellas, I'm going to ask, and we're each going to go through these. The first question, Kyle, is we're going to start with you. 20 games in, where do you see this team going? Who are the Ottawa Senators? And you've seen enough. What type of team are they, and where are they going?
Okay, so I think it was last week. Oh, it would have been last week after the Pinto extension was done. We talked on a podcast I do with Elliot. Like for Ottawa now, effectively, your core is in place, right? How many guys that are important parts of what you're trying to do, you don't have to worry about contract-wise for a while now. And coming off being in the playoffs last year, I think this is green light zone for the Sens. You just hit a beautiful drive, striped one down the fairway on a par 5, and you're 210 out looking at the green. You're not laying up. You're not playing it safe. There's no water in front of you. There's some playable greenside bunkers. You are gripping it and ripping it and going for the green. I think this is where this team has to be out now, especially now, like with the Atlantic Division seemingly so in flux. And I know part of it is that it's early, but I was looking like Friday morning, right? Those Thursday, they beat Boston in regulation. They wake up Friday morning, tied atop the Atlantic Division. Since then, they have lost one game in regulation. They played one game, they lost it. And I think I was looking this morning, they're 9th, right? Like that's just how tight everything still is in the East and in their division in particular, with everything jammed together. But I think it's jammed together because there's a lot of teams spinning their wheels here. Like I look at the West, and that's where the bulk of the heavyweights seem to be in the early part of this season. So I think there's some real quality positioning there for the taking if you're Ottawa. And yes, I agree with you, Jason. A quarter way through the season, you've got a pretty good sense of what you are as a group. It's all going to change when the captain gets back, as you guys both know, and it sounds like he's targeting around U.S. Thanksgiving to try to get back. So that's not too far away. That's encouraging. And then you've got a much better idea of who this team is. But I think they've got to take a run at giving themselves an opportunity, at least to be in a position where you're playing the first round of the playoffs on home ice, and then kind of go from there. Are you looking at them right now and saying this is? I think they've got a legit shot at emerging, out of the Eastern Conference this year. Let's say maybe not, but again, when I look at everybody else in the conference, say alone in their division, there isn't a ton right now where I'm saying, best of 7. Ottawa is going to have a near impossible task trying to beat them 4 times. There are some other good teams, don't get me wrong, but there's still, I think, a lot to be determined. And so for Ottawa, here's your opportunity to grab hold of something. Where in years past, whether it was a Florida or a Boston or a Toronto within your own division, that would ball and run with it, and it's really tough to gain ground. It's a much different set of circumstances here for the Sens, and with a lot of their own internal business taken care of, like now's the time to strike.
Hey, Graeme,
Professor Yorkie, what's the format? Are we allowed to ask follow-ups?
100%. But I want, I'm looking to Kyle's point, and I don't look at the I look at the standings once a week because it changes so much, right? But you look to Kyle's point in the Eastern Conference right now, because there's always Florida was the boogeyman. Nobody can beat Florida. Florida's a measuring stick. Florida Panthers aren't. I know they're missing guys. They're missing Barkov, Tkachuk, but they're not even a playoff spot right now. So who? Maybe this is Ottawa's time, right? They're doing this right now without Tkachuk. They could still make a couple moves. They got some cap space, right?
Because you just never know. Sorry, Graeme. I'll just say quickly, you just never know. I'm thinking back, and again, not to drag Toronto into this conversation. I know the market that we're in and our audience, but I'll just say, as things are going tough there, and now suddenly their playoff streak looks to be a little bit in question. You think about all the years that they were in, and whether they were one and done in the first round or the couple times they got through and then bounced. I look at 2019 for them, and if you look at the roster, was that the best composition of players that they had over the course of this, Matthews era, we'll call it? No, but they were up 3-2 on Boston in the first round. Game 6 was at home. They scored early in that game. They had a lead, let it get away, lost in 7. Boston ends up going to the final. If you look at the way that those playoffs unfolded around them, right? That was the same year that Columbus upset Tampa, the juggernaut Lightning in the first round. So if they had got through Boston, it would have been Columbus in round 2. You had to have liked their chances getting through there. Conference final, Carolina, who went on an unbelievable run out of nowhere. That was the bunch of jerk season. And suddenly they're in the last 4, running on fumes at that point. And it was the Bruins, when they got there to him, brushed him aside for quickly. Like he just, it was one of those where had they got through just that initial hurdle, how far conceivably could have Toronto pushed things? And I'm just dragging that back here now to Ottawa, where you never know when you're going to find yourself in a season where maybe some of the heavyweights you thought were around you aren't quite at that level. And suddenly, a window emerges for you to capitalize and become that dog that's now a legitimate threat. And again, we still got a lot of hockey here left to be played, gentlemen, but maybe this is one of those years.
Yeah, I totally agree with Kyle. I feel like one of the intriguing things about the Eastern Conference right now is that there's just so much parity. And obviously we're 20 games in. It might not necessarily be like that when we get to the trade deadline or towards the postseason when teams make moves to make themselves better. But the question I have for Kyle is, are we at a stage of Steve Staios' tenure now where this team has to be big game hunting right now for a nice little trade chip? Because as we've seen with the moves that he's made to this point, it's kind of like modest incremental gains. He's looking to improve the margins, make the team a little better on the edges. He's added Zetterlund and Cousins. Obviously, he's upgraded in goal with Ullmark, but they haven't really gone after like that big name guy up front. And I guess if they are big game hunting, do they have enough pieces to go and get a guy like that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, Cousins would have felt more of a substantial ad, I guess, only because he's locked up for so many years, beyond when they initially went and grabbed him. Like, that's a pretty big order if you're going, okay, we're bringing a guy like Cousins into the mix there, as opposed to, as you say, a guy like Zetterlund, or, even, okay, now we've gone out and reacquired Dennis Gilbert just to help with Thomas Chabot injured, another body there on the back end. But I think now, like, absolutely, you can't be reckless. And as we know, Steve Staios certainly is not that guy to be reckless. So, but I just feel like this is the time now. Like, you know who you have here for the long term. And it seems like we're starting to transition out of, it's early, everyone's still kind of figuring out with where they are, who they are. Now we're emerging from that to, okay, teams are unhappy with where they're at. Players are unhappy in certain situations. Maybe they're looking for a fresh start. And now that snowball starts to pick up a bit of steam going downhill. Like, I know they've used up some assets. There's, of course, still the gray cloud of this first round pick coming up this year. And maybe, like, we've got Board of Governors meetings coming up in less than a month in Colorado Springs. Like, maybe there's one final plea from Michael Andlauer there, and maybe, things get adjusted and they get let off the hook that way. But I guess, the tough thing is, like, you've got to have some blue chips down in your system. And is there enough there now for Ottawa? Like, are you willing to, if the right move comes around, are you willing to part with Carter Yakimchuk? Like, as difficult as that could be to stomach, like, sometimes can make the difference, between getting a guy that helps get you through versus, another good season where you're in the playoffs, but ultimately, don't have enough steam to get you all the way to the end. So I'm always pro go for it if you think you're in a legitimate spot where you can do it. But as you see every year, there's only one team that can win it. And so everybody else that went to make moves and they come up short, looks at, oh, that was a bad decision. How could you do that? Look at now what the cost of it all. I think I would still rather go down swinging than keeping all my cards close to the vest.
I love it, Kyle. I'm in the same camp, fellas. I just look at that Eastern Conference and, like, look, Detroit is first place in the division right now. Like, I didn't see this coming. I thought Boston was going into a rebuild. All of a sudden, they're a team that's probably going to think they're in the mix. But yeah, I'm the same. You just never know in this business. And right now, it's a peculiar year where everything you thought might happen is not happening. And, this is an important road trip. Historically, we talked about this yesterday on the show, Kyle, of how poorly the Western swing has always gone for Ottawa, but they're a different team now. So I think, and one thing Steady Steve has done is when he's acted, he kind of gets ahead of it too. Like, he's not afraid to get ahead of the line and go out there and acquire something. And Brady Tkachuk's going to be like making a move without making a move, though, because they haven't had him for so long. When they get him back, it's going to be, hey, we just added a power forward to our lineup. So that's going to be a move without making a move. But I think we're all in agreement that we think Ottawa is a team that's got a chance this year. They got a chance. Get to the playoffs. So here's the next question for Yorkie's 3 burning questions, Kyle. What are you adding, if anything? Are you just leaving alone? Are you just going to say, Brady's good enough? If you look at this roster right now, we're 20 games in. You got time, but Christmas is coming. If Kyle's thinking of a nice little Christmas present for the Ottawa Senators under the tree, like what are you tinkering with here? If you're thinking you're going to make this team, they're good, but you want to get them just a little bit better.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's a great push amongst the fan base to like add more scoring on the wings in particular. Would I be wrong in thinking that?
Oh yeah, they always want
bang on.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And if you can go out and do that, like that's great. I mean, who doesn't want more offense? And it's good to see, at least for Ottawa early on, that it's not quite the same scoring woes that they had at times. At least 5-on-5 last season. They're a little more up the in terms of the league ranks. Like you're in a better spot than they were. But for me, and it's been a great reminder this last week and a bit with Shabbat going down, and then like Jensen. Well, how is he doing? How is he feeling? Like the importance of just having like not just bodies, but like guys that you can trust and put in situations. Like I was doing, and I'll be honest, like I'm bad at these exercises, guys, where I look out and go, oh, maybe they can go out and get. I think that player is the right one to go out and get, like rather than just shooting, throwing darts and just hoping one sticks. But I was thinking, like I was in Chicago last weekend. And, even I looked at the guy like, Connor Murphy for the Blackhawks on an expiring deal. Maybe his cap hit's a little higher than you would have liked. And I understand, it's Connor Murphy is not the most sexiest name. His underlying numbers may not blow off the page, but I just look as like a bigger body, a right shot, long, like Jason Graham, like we've seen it in the playoffs the last 2 years with Florida. Like, why have they been so effective? Right. And winning because they've got a real good, they've got a lot of things going for them, but in particular, they have a big, long defense that can close quickly on you and just
you are just difficult. Pandering to Yorkie's wheelhouse right now.
I know, right? He's like, hey, yes.
Reach.
I know where my bread is buttered. That's right. I know. And I understand for the fans that are going like, forget that. Like we need scoring. Totally.
You want big and long.
Find the right deal that, right? Like there's got to be two sides to a deal to make it work. I've thought about that a lot because even with Florida, where throughout their runs the last couple of years, where they've had at times guys miss a game here and there on their back end, they've got enough depth there where it's not just a body you're plugging in there. It's someone where you're like, okay, like they can make plays, they can defend, you can trust for 14, 15 minutes a night or whatever it may be. Like another Chicago guy, right, for them last year is Seth Jones. Like, was anything about his numbers jumping off the page going, yeah, this is a great player still waiting to pop off on a good team? No, but Florida saw something and you bring him in and he ends up being a key contributor to what they accomplished going back to back last year. I think, little things like that where maybe it's not the big blockbuster deal, but can go a long way for, not only being a team that can win, but just the longevity, as you know, Jason, especially we're in already a truncated season where there's not a lot of days off. We're seeing just a laundry list of injuries across the league. Like, wasn't last weekend unbelievable, guys? The amount of guys going down. And now, this again reiterates the importance of having an extra body or two that can help you. And so I wonder if that is one that they explore here moving forward.
So Kyle, you'd like a nice Nico Makula under the tree, a 6'6" long defenseman like on Florida. Like there's a guy, but that's what good pro scouting does. They go out.
Yes.
And say, this big huge defenseman, and Seth Jones obviously was good, but Nicola there was unbelievable in the playoffs. 6'6", but
incredible.
So no scoring. Kyle's going big and long under the tree. He wants a big long tree on his defense to shore up the Senators, to make that little push. All right, Graham, what are you going with?
I would be calling the teams who are desperate right now. I'd be calling Nashville. I'd be calling St. Louis, teams that have gotten off to terrible starts, and see if you can address a need without overpaying, or just find like a Pavel Bukauskas is having a very slow start to his year, but like historically been a very strong two-way guy. If you could get a guy with like that without having to give up too much, just because St. Louis is struggling right now and they're just looking to change the mix a little bit, like that's something I would pursue doing. Whether or not that guy's available, I don't know. But I think they definitely need more scoring, probably on the left side, because you're not getting it from Fabian Zetterlund. And I would even like, so the thing for me, Kyle, and I don't know if you feel like this or Yorkie, like the thing that I feel right now is that if this team is going to get better, it's probably not going to be just a Carter Yakimchuk who's going to get moved. It's going to be someone off the parent roster. It's going to be more of like a Josh Norris, Dylan Cousins trade from like last year, where you're moving a part of the roster right now with another piece to get that upgrade, to get a little bump. Where that comes, I don't know. Like I would love to see an upgrade maybe on Dylan Cousins. I'd love to see another scoring winger. I'd love to see another right defenseman, but whether those come to fruition or not, I'm not too optimistic.
Did you guys see somebody tweeted out the other day, the games played so far of Cousins and Josh Norris? Like it's crazy how the longer this trade ages, how and I love Josh Norris, friend of the show, great guy, but everybody knew he had injury problems. Like this is turning into one of the biggest bank robbing thievery jobs we've seen. Like it's aging well for Steve Stais, that trade.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I feel for Josh, of course.
Me too.
You just want to see him healthy, right? And I know like, you guys love him. You guys have always been so good to him here on the show. But yeah, I think there's got to be somewhere down the line. There's got to be a documentary to be made of like this era of Buffalo Sabres hockey, and get enough time removed that people are comfortable talking about what's all gone on there. It's just they've won a couple here again, so they're like, all right, we're not it's the Black Knight, right, from Monty Python. We're not dead yet, but it's still just like it's too bad, right? Like that's right.
A flesh wound,
a mere flesh wound.
There's like I'm fine.
There's a lot of good players there. I think there's good people there that want to end the drought there once and for all. But yet again, there's still issues.
Yeah. So Graeme, you want a little scoring on the left side. I think with Tkachuk coming back though, there's some goals for you. He's going to be back before Christmas. You want some more
for sure. But I mean, like Jake, if you could throw the lines back up again. I think part of Ottawa's problems right now is that they just haven't simply gotten enough offense from like Ridley Gregg. It's just the secondary scoring just hasn't been there. I love Amadio's play. Obviously, we'll get into him later in the show, Yorkie.
Oh yeah.
But DP's in the last year of his deal. He's a veteran who's probably not going to be here much longer. I just think they need a longer term piece. And like Fabian Zetterlund's working hard. He's doing some things better off the puck right now than he has probably in the whole time that he's been in Ottawa. But the offense and the production just hasn't matched the effort and everything else that he's doing. So at some point, I don't know if they can trade a Fabian Zetterlund for an expiring deal or a rental, maybe put in like a draft pick with a Zetterlund, but like, I think they just need to change up the mix a little bit. Just get a
Zetterlund is Graham's new hammer, by the way, Kyle.
No, not at all. I really like the guy. I love the guy. Like he's super nice. And if you see him around the team in the locker room or whatever, he's like, positive. He is perhaps like the most positive and like friendly, outgoing, nice guy. So you want to see good stuff happen for him, obviously, but it just, for whatever reason, it's not materializing in production. You can't put your finger or explanation on why.
Yeah. I remember like living in Montreal, Arturi Lehkonen early in his career, like he was considered like the most unlucky player in the history of the franchise. It seemed like I know I'm being a bit dramatic here, but he was the ultimate chances, missed the net, posts here and there, and now you look at him in Colorado, right? So I think it's one of those, if you believe in the talent and that eventually it'll all start to balance itself out. Yeah, you got to be wary about getting rid of those players too quickly, because you say it's not an effort thing.
Kyle, just to interrupt, but there's back to the point we were talking about with really good pro scouting. Whoever was behind that deal of getting Lehkonen out of Montreal obviously saw something, and it's paying off in spades for Colorado, because he is he actually, he reminds me of the way he thinks the game. A lot of Amadio just so smart, so cerebral. But those are the guys you win with. Like, I love guys like that. They just do little things, smart plays, and obviously he's scoring more now. It's a very talented roster. But
Right.
yeah, but early in his career, because I remember I was doing Montreal games with it, and he could not score. And people are like, he's useless, can't score. He get chances, miss all the time. He's using like 110 flex stick. It was crazy.
Right.
But yeah, it's sometimes situational. Things change, but you think that you're still a Zetterlund guy?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's been perplexing. I totally get it, but I guess you're still. I mean, you sign him to that deal, obviously, with the hope that things are going to sort itself out. So I understand a bit of the angst, but anyway, let's see where it goes. And like in Lekkonen's case too, right? Like, it's one thing to be able to start to convert on your chances, but also being able to play with elite players, right? Because it's not a layup of just, we'll throw anybody next to Nathan McKinnon and there's 70 points for you. Boston came through Toronto a couple of weeks ago. I was talking to Morgan Geekie, right? Who's been the last calendar year one of the top goal scorers in the whole NHL, right? So you guys, who would have saw that coming? And he's talked about, now being on a line with Pastrnak, and he said, I've really started to hone in on, okay, what makes him tick? How does he view the game offensively? Just to try to understand how his brain operates, to, I guess, obviously helps with chemistry, and also to continue to be a guy that someone like Pastrnak wants to play with, because he knows he's got it pretty good there. But it's just interesting. It's one thing to tap into the mind of the best, but also the ones that ride shotgun with him. Okay, how do they make it work? I mean, it's all so fascinating.
So, Graham, your left shot scoring Kyle's big, long D-man. He wants to move the tree.
Although I would say if Alex Tuch is available and he's relatively affordable, he'd be a perfect fit for Ottawa right now.
Yeah,
that's an interesting one, Graham. Yeah, I'm a big Alex Tuch fan too. Like, I think that's the type of player that a fan base falls in love with. Especially if you're on a team that's on the march towards the playoffs.
He'd be good on Ottawa the way he plays. Like, he's not going to lead your team, but you imagine him playing with Stützle on the right side like this, because he's got the speed, right? He's got the shot, he's got the reach. It sounds like a match made in heaven. But I'm with Kyle on this. If you could somehow find one of those teams, Graham, you're talking about, that is not doing well, is not happy with a guy that's maybe he's been good, but they've expected more. If you could find a big, rangy defenseman, doesn't have to be overly mean, but like, I love that pickup the Toronto made last year with Brandon Carlo, like that. And those guys are tough to find. Like, guys that are big and can skate, they're so important come playoff time. Like, if I'll do some research, check around the league, look at some of the rosters, but that to me is going to help you big time around playoff time. And I think with Tkachuk coming back, that's going to help with scoring. Ridley Gregg's going to get it going. He competes too hard. He goes to the dirty areas. I think he's eventually going to start getting rewarded. Amadio's been picking up some of the slack with the secondary scoring. Giroux is doing his thing. I think they're fine there. To me, it's going to be all about defending. And I still think their D is just a little too small. If you could get a little bigger, a little longer, without giving up the skating and the puck mobility that this team still has, that would be number one on my shopping list, fellas.
I think the weird thing is you look at Ottawa's second line right now, and it's like you have Gregg on the left side, you have Cousins in center, and then you have Zetterlund. And like at 5-on-5, they just haven't produced a ton offensively when they've been apart. But for whatever reason, in the games that I've been watching of late, they don't look bad when they're together as a trio. Like, they're actually generating, they're creating some chances. So I find that kind of interesting. But though that's the line that you have to upgrade. And whether it's you do it in one or two spots, that would be ideal.
All right, Kyle, since we, time's flying when you're having fun. We're only got about 10 minutes left on the show. It's a fun week. So last question from Yorkie's 3 burning questions, 20-game mark. We kind of touched on this the other day, you, myself, and Wally, Graham, but we'll get Kyle's thoughts, and you can repick if you want. Who has been the best story so far, 20 games in, coming up on 20 games, for the Ottawa Senators, for you?
Okay, so just curious. I mean, I do still try to listen to you guys as often as I can, but I missed this conversation earlier. So what's out there? What have you guys put out there in terms of?
Oh, you can go with that. It's whatever you want, Kyle. You get first pick here. You can take.
No. I wasn't.
What do you think Yorkie picked?
Well, of course, it's the Amadio emergence, the brilliance.
I didn't. Wally stole them on me. I had to go. I ended up going
Are
with
you
Drake.
serious?
I ended up going with the Drake, who's been a great story so far. But no, I'm interested because it's always, you don't see, I know you keep up with the league, but you got to keep up with 32 teams. So from your vantage point, who has impressed you the most in Ottawa so far?
I mean, like, to me, it's maybe it's an easy one, but I'm very happy for Shane Pinto. Like, it was great to see him like shot out of a cannon to start the year. And you could tell, well goes dry a little bit there, and he even kind of alluded to, right, like just wanting to get that contract stuff sorted with, it was affecting him a little bit, and then the goal scoring comes back, right after the extension gets signed. I just think it's the neat story from Trent Mann, like, pounding the table going, we need to take this guy when they did back in 2019. No sure thing by any stretch of the imagination, a bit of a late bloomer as a teenager, and then off and running with North Dakota and onwards from there. Goes through, the very public situation with, the gambling and being suspended for half the year. And how is that going to affect any of us, let alone someone at his age? And again, like, just how that now all of a sudden opens yourself up to criticism from every corner of the world. But to handle that, to get through it, to grow from it, and to now continue to be, such an important player for Ottawa. Good person, of course, too, as we know, very likable personality, a very popular teammate, and one of the more reliable guys up the middle that this organization has, and certainly for a long time was seen as the most trusted. And it was good, and a guy that had gone through, like, there was some other times where his contract was up, and it just never seemed to be done smoothly. Like, there was always some sort of hang up for a guy. When you look at his playing ability, you're like, well, this should be relatively easy to get done. Isn't this guy someone that you want to have long term? So now to get that sorted, well before his current deal expires, and to get that all out of the way, I was very happy for him.
Who was I talking? I was talking to Mike Fuda the other day, and he said back when he was with LA, he said he was all over Pinto, and Ottawa grabbed him right before they could get him. But yeah, that was a sneaky good pick by Trent Mann, wasn't it? Like, he had a lot of sneaky good picks back then.
I love the Trent Mann threatening to quit story. Sorry, Kyle.
Which one's that?
Absolutely.
Trent Mann said, if you don't take Pinto, I'm going to resign.
I quit.
Right. Which is interesting for a second round pick guy, right? Like, usually if it's like, I don't know, you're picking third overall and you're going, you got to take this guy, or else I'm not going to be the one at the helm of your amateur scouting anymore. But like, that's pretty, clearly he saw something there, and what he saw has proven to be right.
And Arthur Kaliev was like the next pick, right? Like, that was the contention. It's like, you're leaving a natural goal scorer who dominated the O, and just the way things work out.
And that was the thing with Fuda, right? It was almost, there was, I think, within the Kings at the time, right, Jason, there was almost relief because they really wanted Kaliev, and then Ottawa steps up and takes Pinto, and they're like, oh, thank goodness we can get our guy.
Speaking of guys, we talked about potentially who could come in and score some goals. Stephen Holiday's called up, Graham. I know you wanted to chat about Stephen Holiday. He potentially could play tomorrow, right? Eller, there's a flu bug.
The way it's lining up, the way Jackson Starr tweeted the lines from this morning's practice, and I guess this afternoon's practice, because they're on the West Coast. But Holiday was lined up in the fourth line center spot. So that's something to keep an eye on. Eller didn't skate. What day was I there? I think it was Monday. They left on Tuesday, so it was Monday at practice. He wasn't available either. So I don't know if it's a flu going around the team right now. I think some guys have been dealing with a cough and some colds and stuff. But hopefully Eller's all right long term.
Kyle, I saw Holiday when I was at the Sens golf tournament this summer, and I hadn't seen him since the year before. He is all of 6'4". Like, he's a big redheaded guy. It looks like he's still filling out. But I don't know if you saw his stat line yesterday, Graham, and I were joking about this. He has got like a really, really bad middle relievers stat line right now going on. He's like 1 in 15 or something. He's got 1 goal. He's still generating a ton of off. He's leading Belleville in scoring right now. But I don't know. He potentially, I think he could be something for the Senators, Kyle. Like, he's got some good skills. He's a smart guy. I think there's something there with Holiday. I don't know if you've seen him enough, but I think something's there. Interested to see what you think.
Yeah, I certainly I can't speak from experience. Like I'll be honest, I haven't seen any Belleville games to this point in the year, gents. But I certainly, when he came up a little bit at times last year, like there was the intrigue of, like, as you say, one is the size and that he moves pretty well, and obviously there's some offensive touch to him there also. I just think, again, it always comes down to, with those players, okay, like can a coach trust you? Can a coach, if you're stuck in your own zone, like is he comfortable with you doing the job to get out of it? Can you survive an extended shift, right? Like it's the old Mark Messier line that fatigue makes cowards of us all. Once you're under duress, right? Jason, as you sure you remember playing like with the Ducks back in the 90s, like how many extended shifts you got, legs are heavy, you're straight legged, and now, okay, it comes time to make a play. Can you do it in those situations? Because oftentimes as a fourth liner, you're not going to be in the most envious of situations deployment wise in terms of opportunity. So how do you turn that into driving the play down the other end of things? So like that's going to be the big challenge for him, and to do it enough that, say, as the season goes on, those impressions stick with the coaching staff, and as the game gets a little heavier and the space starts to disappear, that type of player can be a nice help for any team.
Graeme, is a massive Holiday guy. Wally.
Is it Wally? Yeah.
He's
got a ton of skill. Like he's got a ton of skill. It's just, I think like the knock on him throughout his development has just been, can we get the defense to a level where it's acceptable and it's good enough for the NHL level to play consistently? And I think that's why it's taken him as long as it has to get an opportunity. It's just, you got to work on that defensive side of the game. And now he's getting an opportunity, and I wouldn't say there's a ton of pressure on him right now. Like the team's playing really well 5-on-5. You just have to kind of come in, integrate, play at a decent level. And like Nick Cousins is playing really good hockey right now on the fourth line. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what they can do together.
Yeah.
We got to hit on this before you go, because it's like an edition of Welcome Back, Cotter. Gilbert's back. Like, how does this happen? I actually liked him last year remember we were watching him all down the stretch, Graeme. I was pretty impressed with Dennis Gilbert. And there you go. Take a shot, bring him back. He's big and long. And him. That's the thing. Like, what's Gilbert's height listed at, Graeme? Like
I think he's 6'4", I think.
He's 6'4".
Yeah, good boy.
I think he's in that vicinity a bit. Yeah, you're right. Like he only played 4 games last year, but I thought his skating, I was actually impressed with his skating, and he was physical and he was assertive. He was doing everything that you would expect and anticipate, but he just, the Senators' left side was so strong last year, Yorkie. Like there just wasn't an opportunity for him to get in, right? So it's tough, but he's I think he was dealing with an injury late October. So he hasn't played in a few weeks, but I think that's why ultimately he's in Belleville. Like they assigned him to Belleville right away.
Gotta play.
So he's got to play before they recall him. But man, for an organization that lacks a lot of like NHL ready AHL depth, it's a decent ad for a piece that wasn't going to play for the Senators this year.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out why Philly would want to do that deal. Like it's like
Gilbert's an expiring deal, right? So it's just you're giving up a bit of a veteran to get a guy, Max Guenette, who's maybe got some prospect runway left in him, some development. He's put up some decent numbers at the AHL level. He's a right defenseman, which isn't the easiest position to find depth for. So they're just rolling the dice.
Yeah. No, I when I saw the move come across, I'm like, that's pretty good. Like another one of those sneaky moves, Kyle. It's under the radar. It's always, because there's always a little bit of unknown when you make a trade, because you get reports from players. Yeah, I know the guy. Talk to the agents, talk to the people, but you don't really know until that player gets into your locker room how he's going to fit, how he's going to interact. But I thought the fit was very good, but he got a good offer last summer, right? So he moved on, and as a player, that's what you got to do. But I don't know, Kyle, sneaky good move. What do you think?
Yeah, I think just some good insurance, right? Like let's see where this all goes. Like I didn't make the Flyers out of camp this year, but I think for all the things you guys highlighted, like I'm with you there on, and fan of the guy, so you want to see him do well. And so now it's like, here's potentially, there's the opportunities going to come here as time goes on. And just, are you ready for it? Guy that's been around, as you say, like, over 100 games in his career, time in the minors too, understands the flow of things and the demands of playing in this league. So not too many surprises there. And then the fact that he was around before, like, I have no issue with that, with where this team's at.
All right, Kyle. You're gonna start invoicing me overtime here. I think we've had you on.
No.
I think you've had you on.
We've got to get in here before I go. So I was what reminded me of the old Montreal days, Jason. I was looking at Ottawa's schedule here out west through California, and the fact that there are no back-to-backs.
None.
And it took me back to, again, the 1 year doing the Canadians gig with you and Bart's and the whole gang there. That Montreal schedule that year in California, remember they played in Anaheim on a Tuesday, and then we had we had 2 days off.
Yep.
And then Friday night in San Jose, and then Saturday we came back to LA. Sunday we played an afternoon game. It was like a 12 local start against the Kings. Yeah. So Sunday night in Los Angeles was clear. And I think we headed to St. Louis Monday to finish up the trip, and there was nothing left of us by the time we got to St. Louis. But it was fun. It was carnage. It was all of it, because usually there's always a back-to-back mixed in somewhere in the California trip, or it's truncated in some way, shape, or form. But the fact that there was none the year we went out there, and the extra day off, the 1 day there, it was just anyway, a lot of fun. But I agree with you with Ottawa, and that it'll be a different mindset going in. Not only is that, okay, these are important games for them, but you're seeing how much success Anaheim's having, San Jose's having now. I know there's still a bit of looseness and there's a lot of youth in those two rosters, but if you're not coming to the rink mentally prepared for what you got to do, like, those teams will embarrass you. And it wasn't always that way the last number of years, as you guys both know. There could be a little more laissez-faire because of where those teams are at, but it's a different set of circumstances now.
Are you surprised by the sorry, Yorkie. Are you surprised by the production levels of Bedard and Celebrini this year?
I don't know. I mean, I guess would you earmark them to be, right in the conversation with McKinnon and McDavid atop the whole league? I mean, maybe not, but we all saw the glimpses of it. I've been really happy for Bedard to see him back at this level, because I was really uncomfortable last year with the pile on of like, oh, year two, it's not going great. Well, clearly this is what this player is. There's no chance he's got a chance. He's going to be a superstar. I'm glad that he's brushed all of that aside, and we're seeing a lot of what Chicago saw when they took him first overall a couple of years back. So I guess like there's the great storyline of this new wave of youth. Like, you throw Leo Carlson of Anaheim into there as well. That's like coming, and announce their arrival. Yeah. Matthew Schaefer too. Like, how fun and how great of a personality is he? But then also at the same time, for each one of those guys, there's a Brad Marchand, there's a Sidney Crosby, there's a John Tavares, and even a Claude Giroux, of course, here in Ottawa. Like the old guard that are still going, like, we're not taking our stage exit right just yet here. So it's been fun in that sense. I just think like the players now are so good, especially the ones at the top end of it, and they're surrounded by good players too. Like, there's a lot of good young capability in San Jose that Celebrini's able to play off of. I think it's just a great dynamic there. And then even Chicago, like, let's not underestimate the value of a guy like Andre Burakovsky, who, like Lehkonen, played with McKinnon at times in Colorado. He knows the deal of, trying to play off of elite talent. I think that's been a huge help in Bedard and the start that he's off to and with the Hawks.
I've watched Bedard play 2 full games, like every single shift. Both were against Calgary. He had 4 points in the first game. They won 4-0. And just the other night, he had the hat trick. But he's not, the big thing about him right now, fellas, he's not on the perimeter anymore. I found for his first 2 seasons, he was kind of hanging out on the perimeter, waiting for pucks, not really getting involved on the inside. He's playing on the inside now. I think he's going to get on that Olympic team. Like, he's forcing his way on. It's an interesting debate, but the story with him, and I talked to Darren Pang about him. Darren, who does a great job on the Chicago Blackhawks broadcast, just said what he did in the summer, and I'm sure you guys talked about it on your show with Elliot, Kyle, he skipped the World Championships in order to get back home right away and start training because he knew he had to get faster, stronger, and to be able to do the things because it takes a while. Like you get in the league, you're like, wow, this is fast. I'm losing battles, and he's a different player, man. Like when you watch him now, like he's getting involved, he's getting his nose in there. He actually got pissed off a couple times last game, so I'm with you. I've been really, really impressed. But you know what else I've been really impressed with, Kyle? I wrote down the word truncated. You've worked in the word truncated, I believe, 3 times.
Too many times.
I love it. I'm using that in my broadcast. I'm going to Vancouver. I just don't know how I'm going to work in truncated into like a quick color analysis of a player's ability. Like how would I get that in truncated?
Oh, you'll find a way. You'll find a way. I know you always do. You always do.
Kyle, this is listen, thanks. It's 4:00. You've been on for 55 minutes. That is a new coming in hot record. We appreciate your time, and hopefully we get to see you soon.
55 felt like 5, gents. It's always a pleasure. Great to see you both.
Yeah, great to see you too, Kyle. Thanks a lot.
All right, take care, guys.
Do you know what that
that flies by? That flies by.
Can you use truncated in a sentence, Graeme?
Truncated, like shortened?
Is that truncated? I guess you truncated it, right?
Yeah.
I'm
giving you a truncated answer.
It's a short form answer.
Short
Bullet points.
answer. There you
Truncated. All right.
There you go. You can work it in.
All right.
You can work it in. We got faith in you. We can finish taking care of some business. We have to get the Bet365 board up. So
a truncated. Let's do a truncated betting segment. That's producer Jake just told me to do. All right.
This segment is a presentation of Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in the game today. Use code NATION. You must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca.
All right. What do we got?
Couple games. Did you make a bet here, Garrett? Did you actually take some of your hard-earned cash and place a wager? Potential, maybe for the Sens game tomorrow.
Yeah,
for the Sens game tomorrow.
Do something tomorrow.
Take a look and see what we can do. But small slate of games this evening. Any of these stand out to you? I feel like the Ducks should roll the Bruins.
I keep waiting for the Ducks to take a step back, but they don't. They had the 3-game losing streak, and then I know they just won the other night. You see their home record? I think they've lost. I got it right here. Like, this is going to be an interesting game tomorrow for the Sens. And we'll get into it tomorrow, but I got it right here. The Ducks at home are where is it? 6-1-0 versus 6-5-1 on the road. So obviously they got Boston at home. I'm taking the Ducks, I guess. And I don't know if Boston can keep doing. I know Boston plays hard, but I don't think they're going to keep up what they're doing. Like I just don't. I don't.
That's what I felt watching them play Ottawa at home the other night. It was just like obviously they have Pasternak, Geeky's playing at a high level right now, but and McAvoy was phenomenal. But they have four or five players that are dynamic, game-changing kind of players, and then the rest are just high-energy guys who are not overly impactful on the ice. They're just
Let me ask you this:
they come in waves. They push you hard, but it's just I don't think they have the talent there.
So impactful players on the game. You've got obviously the best guys that are impactful. You got McKinnon, you got McDavid, you got Draisaitl. Mm-hmm. Is Pasternak in that conversation with most impactful players? If you're talking guys around the league,
I think contextually, I think offensively, if the puck is on his stick, and you're playing on half the ice, yes, 100%. But defensively, I think he's not. I wouldn't put him in the same conversation as some of the best players in the game. But for me, offensively, when the puck is on his stick, he's incredibly for me, he's similar kind of vein as a Kucherov, where it's the puck is on their stick. They're doing a ton of crazy stuff out there.
See, for me, this is how I rate those types of players. I if you're going to be in the top echelon, and I'll say I was going to say 3 zone, but also, okay, some guys just don't have it defensively. But you got to be one of those guys that can transport the puck through the neutral zone. Like, for me, Pasternak's not from the blue line in 100%. He's with all those guys, but I know he's a winger and it's a different, you're stretching a lot and you're waiting up the ice, but to me, he's a step behind those guys because I don't find him as much of a double zone threat. Like when McKinnon gets the puck on his stick or McDavid or Draisaitl, even Barkov, when I watch Pasternak, I don't see that.
He doesn't drive the bus. Yeah. He
doesn't drive the bus. And for me, if you're a top player in the game, and Kucherov, he drives the bus for Tampa. And I'm not a massive Pasternak guy. I appreciate his talent. He's unbelievably talented, but he's not that guy for me.
Yeah, fair enough. What are we missing now, Jake? I think we hit bet 365.
Yeah.
Is that it? We're good. We missed so much but it's like we have so much stuff that we talked about. We did like Wally, if you're watching, we did so much prep for this show. It was wild. And then we didn't get to most of it because the segment with Kyle was just phenomenal. It was 55 minutes.
Kyle's one of the best guys in the game. And I truly mean I got to work with Kyle when he was just getting into the business. Just a wonderful, wonderful guy. You always know too when you meet someone's parents, Graeme. Kyle's got really, really great people, great family. Brother's a good dude too. So, and they got their new little one there, young Berkeley. So, good.
That's a good name. That's a solid name. Yeah. Kyle. So obviously new to the beat last year, covering the Senators, just doing the writing stuff. But like Kyle had one of the nicest moments, like beginning of the season, like I'm not really talking to anyone. I'm kind of being a wallflower, just kind of watching how the room works, how the way things go, right? Especially with like media availability. Yeah, especially with Travis Green, right? Like I'm just gonna bide my time until I have
Greener still makes you nervous a little bit, Graeme? A little bit.
Not me. Like I'm not afraid to ask him stuff. Like he's not afraid to make you like look stupid if you ask the wrong question. So it's like you have to be prepared for that, and like you have to know that's coming. And like if you ask a bad question, which I've done before, and many people have done before, it's just like if you ask that and you get a short, terse response from him, and he gives it to you a little bit, grinds your gears a little bit, like it's on you. You know, it's not his fault. He's a coach. His time is his time, and he doesn't want to waste it. So it's like make it count. And but yeah, anyways, I asked one of the first questions I asked a Greener last year at the end of the availability. Kyle came up and he's just like, "Hey, good question." Like, you know, just like that supportive teammate thing. Yeah, good teammate, and just made me feel more comfortable in a role that I hadn't done before. So it was really nice of him.
I remember we did one of our first games. It was actually on that Western road trip Kyle was talking about. And, you know, in LA, they always peruse the camera. If it's a national game, it was a national game for hockey night. They're going around the crowd and seeing who they can find in the crowd. Like, what celebrity is it? Will Ferrell? Is it whoever? Anybody? Mike Myers? Ever? So all of a sudden, I'm on the talk back to the truck. I'm like, all right, put the camera on Kyle Bukauskas, and I'm going to say that we've spotted Rick Astley in the crowd tonight for the game. So they get Kyle. Rick Astley has made an appearance at the Staples Center. Kyle's there. It was good. Good hair, right? Kyle and Rick Astley have the great hair. So. All right.
Great hair. So that's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is 107.53. We got, you know what's good? We have a lot of stuff to cover tomorrow. Game day.
So we're taking the day off tomorrow. It's a exhausting show today, Graeme.
We deserve it. Wally will have a coronary if we don't do a show tomorrow, though.
Actually, I got a tweet. I got a text during the show. Like, come on, do you not think I'm busy? Like, you and I coming up with material for the show. We got stuff to do, and all of a sudden, I get this text from one BW. It's at the top of your text. It says BW. Brent Wallace. Your show better be good. I'm currently at a Mozart concert with no concession stand. Who's Mozart, anyhow?
Good stuff. Good stuff. Wally, have a great trip if you watch this.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.